Hello, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Collab Lab video mini tutorial. My name is Noah. I work for the Collab Lab and I am going to be teaching you guys this workshop today. Today's workshop is going to be on photo editing, specifically in Photoshop as well as Lightroom. And we were originally going to do a workshop in person, but due to quarantine, we unfortunately could not do that. So we have been doing a bunch of different mini video tutorials online through our Collab Lab website, as well as on the Collab Lab YouTube channel. So go check those out if you haven't already. We have a wide variety of content on there right now, from iMovie stuff to Illustrator to a lot of other things, and we're going to keep putting out content, so make sure to go subscribe and check out our website. And also, if you guys have any questions about projects or homework assignments, feel free to drop a comment in our web chat, because we are on from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. during the week, which is at your leisure when you come in and ask for help. So today, like I said, we're going to be using photo editing for Photoshop in Lightroom. I do a lot of photo editing with stuff, so this is definitely some of my specialty. So I thought I would share with you guys some of the ways that I get rid of acne and marks and color correct and do a bunch of different things in the Adobe Suite. So let's get started. The first thing that you want to do, obviously, is open Photoshop. So you can either go to the search bar up here and type in Photoshop. So you can do that. Or you can go and click on the photo if you have it on your desktop already. Go to Open With and then click Photoshop. And it'll instantly take it straight to Photoshop. So yeah, as you can see, this is my photo. I feel like this is the perfect photo for doing everything that I kind of want to do for this workshop. The first thing that we are going to talk about is removing different spots or blemishes on the picture. So as you can see, this is a picture of me and my friend from last summer. We did a little mini photo shoot thing, and we shot this in front of a table. So the first thing that I'm noticing on the table is that there are marks here and here that we want to get rid of, because that's just not really flattering. And I obviously have some acne that I want to get rid of, so we're going to get rid of that. And then we're also going to turn this into a full gray background, which I will show you how to do that as well. So let's start with the blemishes. The first thing you're going to want to do is go to the 7th option down and right click and go to the patch tool. The patch tool basically highlights a certain surface of something and removes the pixels from it with another part of the picture that has similar pixels, but will get rid of the mark that you want to get rid of. So we're going to go in, highlight the dark circle, or highlight the mark that we don't want to be in it. The marching ants will pop up, and if you click and hold on the area you selected and drag it to a spot that is clean, bam, it'll recognize the pixels and get rid of the mark. So we're going to go in and just do this with a bunch of different spots. We've got some right here, got some here, got some here. And obviously this is going to vary with like every picture you use. So this one obviously is a little extreme, but I'm using this one just for the sole purpose of showing you guys how to do everything. Another tool that you can use, for example, right here, this is kind of on the edge of things, so it kind of could look weird. If you go 2 tools down to the clone stamp, and I'm going to lower my size up here. If you click Alt and click on this part, you can actually highlight over a certain part of something so that it is the same, but it gets rid of the spot that you don't want. So we're going to go back to the patch tool. Bam. Bam. Once you get the hang of it, it's really not that difficult to get rid of the splotches. Like, as you can see, I'm literally just repeating and going to each of the circles, click, hold, drag, click, circle, hold, drag. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, sorry, my computer runs really fast when I use Photoshop, so sorry if it sounds like an airplane. And kind of like what we did earlier with the clone stamp, we can come in, do Alt, and bam, it'll just paste the pixels so that it looks a little more a little more cohesive. And go back one. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. There's actually another spot on this side, down in this corner. You can also drag off and do it like that kind of way. And yeah, so that's all the spots on the table. Now we're going to go into my skin, because my skin is kind of atrocious in this. We're going to go in and kind of the same thing. Go to the parts of my skin that are a little clearer. It's really just like a rinse and repeat kind of step, and you do it as much as you want. I like using this tool rather than like coloring over someone's face, because that can look really fake, and I feel like this is pretty natural in a sense, that you're getting the same skin tones of things and balancing out the redness and stuff. Go down here, get some more of this on my chin. This is really embarrassing. And that looks pretty good, I would say. I mean, I could like obviously go in here and to like get this redness out and do stuff with that, but that takes a little longer. Kind of did it there, maybe a little bit here. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it for my face. It looks a lot better already. Does Anna have anything? Anna has some blemishes, but not a lot. So we really don't need to touch too much on her, because she's got that olive Greek skin. A little bit there, and bam, we are good to go. The next thing I'm going to show you again is the clone stamp. Kind of like what I did on the side over here. We're going to go into these lines on this table and actually click Alt on the clear part. Go in right here, cover that up, go in here, and if you just click, hold, and drag, it will recognize the pixels, and bam, you can go in and just completely erase that line on that thing. And then what I like to do is after that, go in with the patch tool and then just hover over it with something else so that it kind of just matches the pixels so it doesn't look as messy. And bam. We got that done. So now we're going to do it to the other side. Give me 1 second. My computer was dying, so I have to plug it in. There we go. Okay, cool. So we're going to go in. And you can also literally just go in with the patch tool too and do the same thing we were doing earlier. It's kind of easy as well. But if you want it to be a little more precise, maybe using the other tool would be better. So we can go in with that again. Click Alt. And bam. Clicking Alt here. And yeah, that's pretty much it with that. Next up, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys the crop tool. So the fifth option down is the crop tool. So you can go in and actually get rid of parts of the picture by just clicking, holding, and dragging stuff in. And you can go in, and if you go up where it has these two little arrows with like a half circle, you can go in and actually adjust it so that it's a little more straight on, because this photo is a little crooked, I would say. That kind of made it worse, I think. Yeah. So we can do that. Bam. A little more straight on, and then we can go in right here with just the crop and do that so that our whole background looks like a studio. There we go. And obviously you could also go in and paste more of the side of things. Like if I wanted this to be the same color as down here, I can go in and lighten that up and stuff, but we're gonna do that in Lightroom as well. So that is what we're gonna do there. I could even go in right here and get rid of her hand bracelet thing, which I guess we can do, why not? Go in, click Alt Option, literally, I mean, you can even go in just with like the patch tool and just go like this and just click and drag a couple of times. It's gonna look kind of splotchy at first, but after a while it'll start to recognize. And you can go in with this tool and do like little covering. Doing stuff with skin is a little harder because it's a little more noticeable to recognize. And yeah, that is that. I mean, going with the patch tool a bit, kind of get those colors to be a little more similar. And bam, got rid of that. Might do a little this here, and we're good. Wouldn't really even notice. Okay, so I think we're done in Photoshop for now. So we're gonna go in, click File, Save As. You can name it whatever you want. We're gonna name this as Photo 1. Save it to wherever you need to save it to. I'm gonna save it to my desktop and click OK. And then now we're gonna add this into Lightroom. I like to use Lightroom CC, which you can connect to your phone and actually edit from your phone as well, which is really helpful. But there also is the Lightroom Classic, which has a few more options that you can do for things, so that is important as well. So we're going in, reviewing for import, you click Add Photo, and bam, there's the photo. So the menu that's going to pop up on the right side has this little 3-line with 3 circles kind of thing, and this is where you can change all the light and the exposure and the contrast and the color saturation and the temperature. And these are all really important when it comes to editing photos to make sure your stuff is the best it can be. So the first thing I'm noticing is it is a little pink. So I want to take some of the pink tones out. So obviously you can play around with the exposure here and make it a little lighter or darker. Going with the contrast to make it a little more interesting looking. Bring the highlights down, which I'm going to do. Maybe bring the shadows up a little bit and then the contrasts up again. Going with the whites, bring the whites down. Going with the blacks and then maybe exposure up a tiny bit. And then we're gonna go make the temperature a little more. Saturation up a bit. Actually, no, we're gonna keep it how it is. And then once you get down with this, the tint basically just makes it greener and more pink. Once you get down to the actual color options, you can actually go in and get rid of skin tones, or just say like I didn't want Anna's pants to be blue. You can go in and get rid of the blues. So you can selectively pick out colors that you want to change and get rid of, which is actually really cool. So I'm noticing, like I said, there's a pink tone, so we're going to go in and get rid of some of this pinky in my shirt. And bam, that already looks a lot better. Yeah, we're gonna go in with the orange color, and this kind of just if you make the hue of it, the hue, saturation, and luminance basically are just like all different things that I just play around with depending on like what I want. So we're gonna go in and make this a little more warmer toned and keep that where it's at. And we could even go in and like bring our luminance down a little bit so we look a little more tan. Going with the yellows, and yellows isn't really doing much here. Greens, there's not really going to be much. The teal, really not a lot. The blue, like I said, is going to affect her jeans. So if we want to, you can even make the jeans purple or like this color. We're going to just keep them where it's at. And also you can see in my shirt there's some blue tones, so that's going to affect my shirt as well. The purple, There's actually some purple, so we're going to take some of that down. And yeah, going to get in with the clarity and make it a little sharper. Vignettes, make it have a little more dramatic effect. The sharpening just makes it look a little crisper. And I'm going to go in with a little more warm tone, I think. And a little vibrance. And maybe a little highlights down some more. And bam, down here actually you can see the before and after. So here is the before and then this is the after. So as you can see, we added some warm tones, got rid of the pinkiness, made it look a little more steamy. And yeah, honestly, this is all up to your personal choices with everything and how you want things to look. So yeah, that is pretty much it. When it comes to Lightroom, when you're done, you're going to want to go to the export, go to save to. And I mean, you also can go in here and do the cropping like we did in Photoshop and get rid of blemishes and stuff. But I like to take it in Photoshop because it's easier to do there. Go to save. And it should be on our desktop right here. The before and the after. I kind of added a little too much skin tone here. I think I made it a little too dark, but you guys get the picture. Yeah, it's definitely a little too orange, but I mean, you guys just kind of gotta play around with it and do what is best for your picture. So we're gonna go in with another picture, and I'm gonna do this one a little bit quicker, just as another option so you guys can see kind of what it looks like. So if I click on it, open with Photoshop. This is a shoot I did with my friend Sophie. And yeah, we're gonna go in and get rid of some acne. She doesn't really have much, so that is always nice. If you're taking pictures of people, I mean, acne is something to consider. I mean, it's unfortunate if someone has it, but it also makes the editing process a little longer. But yeah, that's pretty much it with her skin. She doesn't really have that many blemishes that I'm noticing. But yeah, here is this. We don't really need to take anything else out. I'm just gonna, I mean, we could go in with like right here. She has a little bra strap. Little bra strap thing showing, so we can go in and get rid of that really quick. Kind of did it, kind of not. And bam, gone. Now we're gonna go to File, Save As. We're gonna name this as Photo 2, save, and then we're gonna go back into Lightroom and do some more color correcting. Yeah, I definitely made the last picture too dark. This is what it normally looked like for editing wise. So that's how I made it look back in the day when I first edited it. So a little different. Yeah, kind of made it too dark. That's tragic, but this is what it looked like originally. So okay, so now we're gonna go back into the plus once it's finished loading. Gonna go to Photo 2, Review for Import, Add Photo. And now we're gonna go in and just kind of play around with it. So I'm gonna make the exposure a little higher, the contrast a little more, the highlights down, the shadows down, the whites down, the blacks down, maybe actually exposure a little down more. Gonna make it a little warmer. Because there's green in here, you can actually make the greens a little brighter or more yellow tone depending on like the season. We're gonna go in with can make the blue sky look a little more pastel-y. yeah, we're gonna go in with the sharpening tool to make it a little sharper. I think I'm gonna make the highlights down a little and the exposure down a little bit more. Temperature up a little more. No. The temperature in Lightroom is kind of interesting. Sometimes it works well, but sometimes it doesn't. Make the yellows kind of more orangey toned for sunflower. Get a little brighter. Make the luminance up. Make your skin tone a little more like that. And it's kind of getting there. I mean, you just really got to play around with it and do what makes the photo look the best, obviously. Maybe add a little cooler tones. That might be better. Kind of like that. I mean, you can do, if you're more of a warm tone person, you can do it like this, or you can keep it cooler, on the cooler side like this. Add in the vignette, sharpening, or you can even just do auto and see what it does. It did this for me, but I'm gonna go in and actually lower the tones and make the warmth a little up. So I mean, yeah, that is pretty much it when it comes to editing in Lightroom and Photoshop for photos that I do personally. It really varies. I mean, there's other apps on your phone that you can use too, like Facetune, and I like to use Visco for filters. That's kind of how I get the like whimsical like vibe from all my photos and stuff. But I mean, yeah, there's lots of options. There's also many other tutorials and stuff that you can watch for specific like editing things, like if you want to do other things. I mean, we have stuff like removing the background and other things, so if you want to check those out. But I mean, yeah, it's really fun, and just for social media as well, and taking pictures if you're into that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little Lightroom video, and if you guys have any other requests for things that you want to see, let us know. And like I said, we're on the web chat from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. during the week, and yeah, hopefully you guys are staying inside quarantined and having a productive and safe time, and I hope everyone is doing well during this time and pushing through the semester. We're almost done.